For every complex problem, there is an answer that is clear, simple, and wrong. H.L. Mencken. To return to the $1.8 trillion student loan debt crisis in the United States, and to conclude this YouTube video, how would we know as a society when it solved the problem? If a national policy was enacted that forgave student loan debt for current borrowers or recent graduates, would the problem be solved? If the $1.8 trillion student loan debt amount decreased to $1.5 trillion, would the problem be solved? With so many possible responses to the student debt crisis, what are we to do as a society? How should society respond to this wicked problem? What are the possible solutions for the $1.8 trillion student debt problem? There is immense power when all possible responses or potential solutions are collected and considered. For instance, did you know that the United States President has the power to eliminate student debt via an executive order? The Higher Education Act provides the President with broad authority to release borrowers from their student loans. Work by Alan Killinge's group Student Loan Justice on the power of presidential executive order is a possible response, but not well known by the news media, which is why Mr. Killinge made a concerted effort to inform as many people, news media, policymakers, legislators, as will listen and learn. It would be hard to argue against an idea that to solve a problem, constituencies need to know what possible responses are. For instance, it would be helpful to know that the student debt problem is a problem worth solving because doing so would increase the United States GDP significantly. According to research by the Levy Economics Institute of Bard College, if a one-time federally funded cancellation of all outstanding student debt occurred, it would have a meaningful stimulus effect characterized by greater economic activity as measured by GDP and employment, with only moderate effects on the federal budget, deficit, interest rates, and inflation. Of course, there's research that argues against canceling student loans. According to a position paper written by the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget and published in 2020, canceling student loan debt is poor economic stimulus. So there you have it. One group says forgiving or erasing student debt is helpful, while another group says forgiveness and erasure are not helpful. We ought to listen to R. Buckminster Fuller, who said, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." The United States needs to have a model of higher education that allows people to access it without fear of becoming ensnared in debt. This new future will require citizens to vote into power politicians who will assist in building such a system, because politicians will need to vote to approve budgets that fund new systems. These same individuals will need to confess that the Education Department's income-driven repayment plans hurt rather than helped millions of people. A new higher education system may be easiest to be built by extending the public K-12 system to being K-16. As I stated in Student Loan Debt as a Wicked Problem, the purpose of the book is not necessarily to provide solutions or panaceas to the $1.8 trillion debt crisis and growing situation, but rather to share perspectives that help explain and question. While there are many solutions, there seems to be no evidence that the debt crisis is improving. To accomplish something that we have never accomplished before, debt elimination, will require we do some things we have never done before. We can move from pessimism to possibility and from hell to hope. Let's go. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. You can comment on this video and share it with others. Follow me at Twitter, my handle is @nhartlip. And whenever sharing this content, please use the hashtag WickedStudentLoans. Thanks for watching.